getting shocked and shocked and more shocked day by day when Donald Trump opens up his mouth. Everybody is thinking a president like him, who has so much money, who has power, who has brilliance, and even after that, he is just talking such bullshit out there in front of everybody, and that is what everybody is thinking, that what is wrong with him? Why is he actually acting upon it? And everybody is reading up his psychology, and they're like, how can a president act like this? But then it is a history of US. They have met certain presidents who act in a very, very different manner, who act in a manner that they don't even understand what is really happening. Bill Clinton was one, and then we see Donald Trump out here. His whole speculation, his whole tie-up with Epstein file, his whole, coming up with war and still actually carrying that delulu that he has settled 8 wars, where he has almost came with another war in the entire world, and now he's trying to get in another war as well. So everybody right now is in a speculation, why is Donald Trump acting upon like this? So actually Donald Trump is following this one theory. This one theory is something where he feels like he can conquer the entire world, and not just him. There are so many people in our history who have followed this one theory, which is known as the madman theory. This whole theory says that supposedly I say anything to you which is nearly impossible, and you think that I won't be able to do it. I'm not talking about the succeed or something like that. I'm talking about something weird, something disastrous, something tremendously bad. And if I say I will do it, and you won't believe that. You're like, you cannot do it. Come on, no human can do it, and all of that. But what if I do it? And then you'll be like, oh my God, it will carry upon, that entire fear inside you, that if this person can do this, they can actually do something else too. So in this similar manner, Donald Trump has planted his entire seed in the entire world. So basically what happened was, first Donald Trump said that, he warned Venezuela that just stop giving oil to China, just stop supplying things and all of that. Venezuela did not stop. After that, Donald Trump abducted Maduro, who was the president out there, in this entire midnight, and all of that entire thing happened. After that, the world acted in a manner that, oh my God, if he can do this, then he can do anything in the world, because nobody really expected that he would come up with such kind of act, because this act is not at all chivalrous. This act has always, reciprocate. This act has actually went against almost all the international laws, and then this act was the byproduct of all the acts which Donald Trump wanted to do. Then after this entire thing, Donald Trump said that I will now go and hatch the entire Greenland. At that point of time, everybody was so much furious enough. Everybody was in a very scared moment also, that what if Donald Trump could actually do it, because he has the capability. He has done that entire thing to Venezuela, and because of that, even if he was not capable to capture the entire Greenland, he still made that world dominance, and he still, because of him, the stock prices went up and down. The world was actually having this whole fear into themselves that they might do it. But European Union stood there firmly. European Union took a stand for Greenland, and they said, okay boss, if you want to do it, then just bear the consequences what the entire European Union is going to come upon you. And after that, Donald Trump stopped it. So now Donald Trump has been following that entire thing because of his unpredictable nature. In one night, he came up with a war with Iran for absolutely no reason, for absolutely reason which is not even relevant enough. And after that, everybody is now like, what next can he do? Because that is how he has been acting right now. If I be very honest, in the entire US, there has been so many protests that we don't want mad king like Donald Trump. We don't want him. There's another impeachment happening for Donald Trump because people are so much fed up of him. US was a place which was full of greatest economy, which is full of the best defense system out there, which is full of great minds, great experiments, great economy, great empowerment and all of that. But right now, US is just wrecking down. In US right now, immigrants have been sent to jails like El Salvador. Then out there, inflation has been rising up because of the stock market, which has been affected because of the entire world is at a war and all of that, in the manner where US President Donald Trump is catering all the things, right? So right now, US and out there people who are actually struggling. So basically in India, what happens? Our parents don't abandon us after 18 years. But in US, you are being abandoned after 18 years. Most of the families don't even support their children. They go out there, earn their own bread every single pie, then fulfill for the insurance and all those things. So they get independent after 18. So in that manner, if you see, those countries and those people right now are actually getting towards poverty. Right now, they don't have enough money to pay for insurance. Right now, they're not getting jobs. Right now, almost all the markets out there in US has been stuck, and all the businesses which were running out there is still right now in a place where people are not being able to maintain a balance. And because of that, they are so much fed up of Donald Trump. They just want this war to end, because nobody right now is doing any sort of business with US, because US has come under a country which is known as the war-torn countries, and because of that, there are repercussions which US cannot take. And Americans are like, we don't even want this war. We are not even, really threatened by what Iranians are doing and whatsoever is happening in the entire world. We just want this Donald Trump to get away. It is very, very important. And not just that, there are many more statements which Donald Trump has given, and that has embarrassed the entire entity of United States of America. They're like, oh my God, what sort of illiterate president we are having right now? That is something which I'm going to tell you in the next part of the video. So basically, what happened was there was this entire economic summit happening in America, and US President Donald Trump was sitting in the media conference. Out there, a media person was asking questions upon so many things and so many like that. And then Donald Trump said that you just feel free around me. Then the reporters were like, okay, come on, what is coming up next? Then he said something which you are not going to expect. He said that you can ask anything to me, ask sex related questions to me. And he said that I don't like to be surrounded with the people those are very successful and brilliant, because with such people you can never be, yourself. You're always, behind the things. They are going to come up with what is good happening with them. They're going to brag about themselves. I want to be with people those who are lesser than me, because then they are going to butter me, then they're going to talk about me, then they're going to flatter me. I mean, for a minute, everybody in the room thought that it is not a conference, it is not where we are going to discuss about the economy, all of that. It is a personal confession room where Donald Trump is just speaking his heart out, and many of the people are thinking that he's mentally in a very distorted manner, and he's not getting into right places what to speak and what to say. After that, the room was entirely shocked, much more in the laughter. Then he came up with some very controversial things, which has triggered a lot of people out there. He came up with a thing that he said that Strait of Trump, then he said, oh sorry, Strait of Hormuz. In a similar manner, he mentioned Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. Then he said, no, no, actually it's Gulf of Mexico. So in this manner, he's actually, claiming everything what he wants right now. So basically, he's not having it all. He's not being able to capture the entire state of Hormuz. He has not been even in a very successful manner, at a place where Iranians have come on the negotiation. Not even Iranians have allowed a US ship to pass through Strait of Hormuz. So he has not achieved anything. But he wants to make the world believe that, please listen to me. I am out there and I am doing everything. He is under his own delusion, and he's making the world believe, because he knows that at a position where he is sitting right now, every single word of his matters a lot. He is playing so strategically right now. Sometimes he says the war is about to end. Sometimes he says that then we go to Iran, and then Iran says we have never had a discussion with Donald Trump. Because of that, the stock market goes up and down and everything like that, and the pandemic gets erupted in the entire world, and all of that happens. In the meanwhile, whatever the money is in the market which is lacking behind, that is what Donald Trump keeps up in his pocket. So he's actually taking up this entire process, and he is actually revolving the entire world around him, and he knows it very well that the time has again came up, under his tenure, then where the protest has erupted, the entire world is against him, and he might get impeached. And before that, he wants to do every single fantasy which he has thought and dreamt after becoming the US president. That is what he's doing right now, because his level was never up, but now it is going down and down and down and down. And right now, the measurements of how much depthness his level is having right now, we cannot actually calculate. Now there are many more things which he said that Saudi Arabia's king Salman is actually licking his ass. I mean, words like these can never be used politically out there in front of the entire world. He slashed down the entire Saudi Arabia. He was like that, who is Saudi Arabia without America? We are the ones who have militarily guarded them. We are the ones who, we who has actually helped Saudi Arabia, not getting into war and all of that. And Saudi Arabia is coming to us and saying that, we have power and all of that. If I take you back to the moment when Donald Trump took up the oath and became the president, Saudi Arabia's king, this entire king, whom he said that he was licking his ass, was the only person who was very much, welcoming for Donald Trump. He said that he went on the airport and picked him up and all of that, and he did so many good things and all of that, and then he invested around $650 million on. US, and they're like, let's just do the whole process and the whole trade deals and all of that. So basically, if Donald Trump's first success was counted in his this tenure, then Saudi Arabia's king would come at a par, right? At come at a topless position, and right now he's acting upon it entirely in this manner. Then he also came up on Europe. He said, "What is Europe? Europe is nothing. Europe is, is a place where people are really does not have a lot of guts into themselves, and Europe is nothing without NATO." And US President Donald Trump has been claiming it every single time that NATO has been funded by the most by US. And when I needed NATO to come in support of me, let's just fight with Iran, and let's just subdue Iran, and take the entire Strait of Hormuz, NATO did not acted upon the entire thing because they know that they don't want to become the part of the war. And that is why he mentioned that what is European Union without NATO? They are nothing. He almost slashed down every single body. So basically, the entire room was not looking in a manner that it was a place where people were about to talk about economy or something like that. It was always, it felt something that a president, and not president of any country, president of a G2 country, came upon in this entire meeting and confessed whatever he felt like, whatever he's thinking about it, and all of that. This man, to actually hide everything what happens on Epstein file, came up with a war. Why do you think there was a war? It was obviously because of that. This man wanted to be in a war. He basically followed the entire strategy of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So right now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is charged with so many corruption cases and a lot of things. Even after that, nobody questions him. Even after that, nobody, is actually in Israel protesting against him, because everybody knows that they are at war. And because of this man, Israel is at war for more than 3 years now. One war ends, the other war comes up. The other war comes up, the other war comes up. And Donald Trump has also announced that they are also going to attack Cuba as well. So basically, the war is not going to end. Cuba is also entering into this entire business right now. It's coming under the club. And then slowly, he has this whole plan into himself that he, before, getting off from the presidential chair, he's actually going to take away most of the oil asset and give it to US, so that he's like he want to tell US that, okay, if I'm not working domestically, but I'm getting oil for you, I'm getting weapons for you, you're going to get rich, the economy won't get affected because of that. But these oil and these weapons are only going to support US in the in the defense matter and all of that. But what about the small case businesses which are happening in US right now? The money is revolving, but the money is not going to the people, those who are struggling right now, students, middle class people out there who are economically not that stable. So it is not going anywhere right now, and that is what has been creating a big problem right now. That is why people are outrageously coming up with, and that is what people are saying, that this man has become a mad king and we just want to get out of him. And it's not very much important for the entire America to get rid of US President Donald Trump. We need to understand this one thing, that this man is actually capable of doing anything to prove his point, to prove his some kind of fantasies, to prove some kind of his delulus and all of that. And again, out there, he also said that I don't know why I've not been given with Nobel Peace. He's so obsessed with Nobel Peace. He's like, before dying, I just want this one wish to be fulfilled. That is that I want to get Nobel Peace Award. And everybody's like, why is he so much inclined towards over Nobel Peace and all of that? When we stressed upon this entire thing, then he's like, I have settled 8 wars. I mean, from where has he settled 8 wars? Nobody knows that. He still carries this illusion. So basically, if you talk about about psychology. He wants to make you believe that he has done it, even if you believe it or not. So basically, he keeps on repeating it, keeps on repeating it, and keeps on repeating it in a manner that it gets into your mind. And somebody who is influential, who is influenced by Donald Trump, would start believing on this entire fact. So that is how he is actually self-propagating its own self, and that is how he's been acting upon this entire thing. So right now, the entire situation and the entire world reorder has to be changed. Donald Trump need to be impeached, and something like something like him should never sit on the position of U.S. presidential ship, because this is a reckoning of the world. This is where the world is ending because of him, and everybody for no reason is at a war, which is not very profitable for us right now. That's all for today. If you like such geopolitical analysis out there, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe Global Shark.